This is CodeAI. Let's see what we're doing. Assume your friend just sent you 32 bits of pixel data. Just the zeros and ones for black and white pixels. Binary. That were encoded after sampling an image. Choose the two statements that are true. Okay, guys, there's a lot of vocab in here. So what I would start off is I want to remind you, if we head back to our lesson and go check out our lesson resources, CodeAI gives us a ton of resources. So analog data, digital data, sampling. Let's see, where were we? Sampling an image. So they're encoded sampling. Let's see what sampling is. Sampling, a process of creating a digital representation of analog data. What's analog data? Data with values that changes continuously or smoothly over time, including music, colors of painting, so on, at regular intervals called samples. So sampling is something that takes data, sometimes random, not actually random, samples of it, and tries to summarize it, if you will. So it might compress it to some degree. Alright, the 32-bit of pixel data is enough to produce the image using the widget. Nothing else is needed. Well, this is something we can test. I want to hold off on that one. The digital image would be an exact copy of the analog image. If we're sampling it, we're already saying, I believe, it's not an exact duplicate. If you're sampling something, you're not recreating it perfectly. The correct width and height must be input into the pixelation widget to produce an image. That one sounds... Okay, so we have two about the widget. Let me go back. Let's see. I know there was one here. Yep. Okay, let's go take a look at this. So, what do I notice right away? Well, it looks like, can I do anything without a width and a height? Right? If it's all 0, can I make anything? No. Right? So, I need a width and a height to be able to produce anything. So that seems promising. The correct width and height must be input into the pixelation widget. The fact that only 32 bits were used to represent the image indicates relatively large sample squares were used. The digital image may vary from the analog image significantly. And the fact that 32 samples were used, guys, that is not a lot of samples. So think of a picture. A picture might have 17 million pixels in it. So 32 samples means you cut up 17 million pixels, right? And let's see, 32 would be... maybe it's an 8 times 4 image. You cut up maybe a million pixels or 16 million pixels and you only pick 16 dots to emulate. It would be really hard to contain all the values, all the data in a normal image if you only pick 16 tiny spots to sample and say recreate this image. Let's see. But make sure you go back through this and do use your tools. Use the resources provided and always try out what some of the answers are with the previous bubbles. Helps a lot. Alright, onward.